Okay, chums, this is a film that I've kind of rescued from bits being lost and so on. So there are a few gaps in this one. And yeah, I kind of blundered here and there, so forgive some of the mess. But in the end, I think it's come out bearable. And I like the aircraft. I'm going to say that quite a lot in this one. I really like this aircraft. But there we go. Hello. Let's see if I can get some more films out in the near future as well. There's always technical problems. I tried to upload this one the other day, actually, about 2 days ago, and it got stuck at 10% and just wouldn't do anything. So I had to remake the whole film. Never mind. Here we are with a wonderful eBay purchase. It's the Matchbox Dornier, it says Do.G. I was never that fond of Matchbox for some snobby reason. I made a few of their models and every one of them was very good, particularly their tanks. The box art was always a bit, not quite as good as Airfix. I don't know why I thought that. Have you seen this? This is magnificent. The plane is superb, but even down to the sunlit evening ripples on the sea, just incredible. And it looks like a great aircraft as well. So, I was cutting off my nose to spite my face there, wasn't I? Anyway, oh, got a part in the box. Here we are. I didn't like this rather pointless, gimmicky, kiddie, multiple coloured plastic. That might be the only thing that I can sort of look back on and go, oh, otherwise it's all just snobbery. Anyway, you're going to paint it, so it doesn't make any difference, does it? It's a great model. A few bits have come off. The sprue, this wing, the fuselage, a little man, a seat, both the propellers, and one of the struts. I can't find it anywhere. I've got plenty of junk in boxes elsewhere, so that won't be a problem. But there we have it. What a marvellous thing. Can't wait to do it. So we'll keep an eye on this. Got all the main parts done already. This is a really quick, easy model and extremely enjoyable. So far this has taken about an hour. That's not bad. I've made an amendment with the people. I've put this character in. He might be my favourite pilot, regardless of the lack of detail. He looks just really good, so I've popped him in from an Airfix one that's, I think, going to be on the ground with nobody in it. Here's the engine stuff, for want of a better word. Really interesting shapes, really interesting concepts. Looking forward to all that coming together. And everything's green at the moment. I've given it a kind of undercoat of green. Then I'm going to spray a sort of German grey over the top, but let a bit of the green come through just to give it a bit of texture. But there we are, going really well so far. Enjoying this. What a marvellous shape this has, particularly with the weird engine cowling here, which is very slim. I don't know what engines it had. I can look that up. I'm sure it's in the instructions or in one of my little books. But what are Dornier up to? They do make incredibly good looking aircraft. It's a beautiful thing. It's almost like a dolphin or a shark in itself, and then this weird 20s, 30s bit of architecture looms up. And it even has, fascinatingly, a little doorway for getting in and out. Obviously, that's what doorways are for, that's talking the obvious, but this is a great aircraft. Well done. And there we are with the propellers on. So a pusher and a puller, I believe they are. And the whole thing's just incredibly novel to my mind, so I'm really happy with this. Right, ready for the next big adventure. I did lose a single piece that was 2 struts that support the back of the engine housing, and they prop them up over there from the fuselage. Then I lost the tail, or at least the tail fin. So I went and looked for the tail fin. I'd given up on the struts because I thought I'd probably thrown them away because they were little. And instead of finding the tail, I found the struts, those bright ones there. Now usually I complain about Matchbox models because they are at least 2 colours. This one was 3 colours and I just don't care. But for once it paid off because look, those struts are bright blue and I found them. So that's good. Just got to get the... So I was looking for the tail and I found the missing struts. As ever, you find what you're not looking for. And then by giving up on the tail and doing some tidying up, I found the tail plane, which now, after a lot of work going on the rest of it, is a slightly different colour. But that doesn't matter because it's going to have a massive transfer over it. So that's all going well. I think I've got the whole aircraft. I've just got to do a bit of painting, some transfers, and then I can get the cockpit canopy on and we'll be away. Just thought I'd compare some of these really rather very aesthetic aircraft hulls. The one at the bottom is the Dornier D24 by Italeri, and the one above, oops, is the Cant 501, Z501. And as they're seaplanes, of course they have a kind of fish-like quality, but my goodness, they are really, really aesthetically pleasing things. They're both from before the war, and they really had a bit of style in those days. And I'm going to add in another Dornier, the one I've nearly finished, and I've completely forgotten its name and number. But there it is again, the same kind of thing. Sleek, streamlined, fantastic things. Very similar to the Catalina, which is another fabulous seaplane. These were good times for design, it seems. Kind of can use that as an excuse for my weird liking of the interwar stuff, I think. So they're all in a different state of non-completion. So you can see the kind of production line that's going on. And I've got green paint all over my hand, spray paint, because I've been spraying the Handley Page Hayford by Matchbox. And I've been relegated to the bedroom. Never mind. It's another sunny but breezy day, so this is probably going to take off. Pardon the hand, therefore. This is great, this aircraft, and it was a brilliant model. Everything about it went well. Absolutely wonderful. So this is one of those films where I lost a lot of the shots and I haven't been able to retrieve them. Never mind, it does mean we missed out on some of the funny goings on I got up to with some of the figures, particularly the one at the front who I was mucking around with, which leads me on to the concept that I'm not supposed to be mucking around with things. I'm supposed to be making them as they come and as they are instructed. So I've broken my own rules. I noticed in some of the shots outdoors that some of the paintwork around the edges of the wings and things, which was supposed to look like a bit of weathering, actually just looked like blobs of paint. So I've trimmed some of the edges up. I still haven't found a strut for the tail, and I'm, just wondering what to do about the marking on the tail, where all the where the transfer's blistered somewhat. So I may put this to one side when it's done, but just with a few flaws, so I may put it to one side and have a jolly good think while I look for a strut. So that's where we're up to right now. Brought it indoors at least to be able to control some of the light a little, and put it on a blue board. No reason, not trying to make it look like the sea. Would I do that? Never. Nice aircraft though. I suppose the big question is, do these aircraft get barnacles? Do they stay in the water long enough to acquire a barnacle? And can the barnacle hold on? I don't think wind speed will pull a barnacle off, not much will. But maybe temperature change might not do it any favours. I can't imagine living somewhere far from the coast when one of these flies over and you get hit by a barnacle. Maybe that explains some of the strange phenomena Charles Fort studied. Mind you, most of the time he was right and they didn't have aircraft, I think. Still, it's a thought. Dornier made some superb looking aircraft, although it doesn't look great from this angle, does it? Let's have another look. And Matchbox make a good model. I've just got to become a better at everything, really, I suppose. That's what I need to do. The shadow's a shame, isn't it? Which actually reminds me of the film Mosquito Squadron, where in one of the very beginning shots an aircraft gets shot down and it's a model and it's in flames and it drops. The flames and the landscape are bad enough, but it's so near to the sky in the background that it casts a shadow on the sky. Oh dear. What was that? Late 60s, early 70s, Mosquito Squadron? British filmmaking at its lowest. Poor old mosquitoes and poor old David McCallum. I've never actually got beyond that point in the film because it's so terrible. And I'm committing the same crime. Big shadow on the sea. Oh well. It does happen. So that's it done. Time has passed and I just noticed I've knocked one of the, let's call it a spike, off the upper side of the wing. Yeah, I'll have to rebuild that with something, which means I've also noticed that I haven't put that missing strut on underneath the tail to support the tailplane. So, some work to be done. Anyway, enjoyed the model, loved the airplane, you know that, and I don't know what a mess this film was getting it done. But we got there in the end. Hopefully it's uploaded fine and everybody can enjoy it. I'll try and get another film out soon, see what we can do. Thank you for watching anyway, and your great patience with this one and many others. And yeah, more soon. All good. Brilliant, yeah, and all of that. That's not convincing, is it?